Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today's Wednesday, April 24th, 2024, and tonight I'm going to be going over my April prediction for president. So this is a Donald Trump and Joe Biden rematch, and so this is going to be my April prediction. So starting off with the states that we know will be safe for Joe Biden. These are states that will be likely over 15 points for Biden. Not New Hampshire, sorry, I misclicked. These are a lot of states that are pretty liberal and have consistently voted for the Democrats literally since 1992, since Bill Clinton. So these are the safe states that will be for the Democrats. I think basically for the 2024 scenario, I think we can put Colorado as the safe state since it has moved so far to the left. Especially in more recent years, like even if we look back at, like in 2012, it was a swing state, but Joe Biden won it by, I believe, over 10 points last election. Minnesota will be a likely state for Joe Biden, along with Virginia and New Mexico. These are the states that are voting. Like Minnesota, I believe, voted 7 points for Joe Biden, along with New Mexico. Virginia, pretty liberal state. I forgot to mention Maine is a safe Democrat state at the state level and in the 1st congressional district. I'll get into the 2nd congressional district later. New Hampshire will be a likely state for Joe Biden. Headed over to the states that will be safe for Donald Trump include Alaska, and then a lot of your basic rural states that you see, and then a lot of the deep south. So these are the states that will be safe for Donald Trump, including Nebraska. Headed over to the states that will be likely for Donald Trump will be Texas. I think we could categorize Florida as a safe red state now, since Donald Trump and the GOP have dominated Florida. Obama was the last Democrat to really do well in Florida. Ohio will be a likely Republican state along with Iowa. Maine's 2nd congressional district I'm going to put as lean for now, because I think Biden might do better than he did in 2020. I'm not really sure currently. So these are basically the swing states. North Carolina, I'll get into that later. So let's start off with Nevada. Looking at the 2020 election, you can see that Biden won most of the swing states besides obviously like Texas, Florida, and North Carolina. And he won Nevada. In Nevada, we can see that he won it by roughly 2.5 points. He won the Reno. That is the county of Reno. That's not the county name, but that's where Reno, Nevada is located. And here's where Las Vegas is located. Even in 2016, I'm on the Iowa. Here we go. 2016, Hillary Clinton even won Nevada, which is a big red flag for Trump, I guess you could say. That if Hillary Clinton won it, I think we can almost say with a certainty that Joe Biden will do either really well in it and it's going to be super close, or he will win it. And that necessarily isn't always going to be the case for all these states. I'll get into that in a minute. But I think, and if we look at some of the polls that have come out of Nevada, we can see that Donald Trump is obviously winning by a lot. But when you have to take into consideration that polls are not accurate. They showed Hillary Clinton was going to win the presidential election by a lot. And that did not happen. It turned out to be that Donald Trump was going to win. And deep down inside, I think we can all agree that Joe Biden is going to do pretty well in Nevada. I'm going to put it as a tilt, because it most certainly will not be a safe state for him, or a lean or a likely, because it is a swing state. But I think part of the reason the GOP keeps overestimating their odds in Nevada is because of Joe Lombardo, the governor. That is one of the first elected offices that they have won in a while that they actually, like I said, actually won. They have not won any of the Senate elections, and they also only carry one congressional district in Nevada. So I am going to put it as a tilt for now. Headed into Arizona. Arizona is an interesting story there. if you know, a few weeks back, Arizona upheld its 1864 abortion law, so abortion will remain illegal in Arizona, and that is going to boost Biden's odds by a lot. So I think let's if I pull up the polls real quick for Arizona, Trump has remained he's had a steady lead, even with third party candidates, but even if we look back on the 2020 election, we can see that Biden won it by less than he won it by 11,000 votes, which is quite frankly astonishing to me that how close that happened on a presidential level. Currently, I feel like Arizona will be tilt Democrat. That could change though, because I feel like my predictions have changed recently. So that anything could happen, you know. But when you look at Arizona, we can see that Arizona has Katie Hobbs as its governor, Kirsten Sinema currently as an independent senator, and Mark Kelly as a Democrat senator there. And Arizona, I feel like, has definitely been like Colorado and started shifting to the left a lot, including even a state like Texas. Texas was a deep red state for a very long time, but it just started turning blue. I mean, we had Beto O'Rourke in 2018, who lost that seat by roughly 2%, which is astonishing because of how close it was. Ted Cruz, I believe, only won it around 200,000 votes. And a Democrat in Texas performing that well is truly astonishing. But in 2024, I do not believe Texas will be much in play. If you see my Senate election video, I do think Ted Cruz is going to easily win. Unless Colin Allred outperforms Beto O'Rourke and really pulls out the Latinos, all the minorities, and even gets some decent games with the white folks in Texas, then it's possible. But Beto O'Rourke campaigned literally every day, and so I highly doubt that he is going to win. If he campaigns that hard, but right now I'm unfazed by it, and I doubt he will actually win. Headed over to Georgia. Georgia is a different story for me because I think Georgia is the state that Donald Trump is going to do really well in, and really actually probably will be one of two potential states that would flip back. I'm going to put it as a tilt for Donald Trump. And here's why. So, David Perdue and John Ossoff, John Oss, I can't pronounce his last name, campaigned against each other in 2020. That was the 2020 election. And there was also a special election with Raphael Warnock. And so, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock are the two incumbent Georgia senators. But I feel like this 2020 election was where Democrats really overperformed. I think Stacey Abrams had a lot to do with Democrats winning in Georgia. And I really do feel like it was a one-time thing, but I can see why a lot of people think that Georgia is slowly moving over to the left. And I definitely do think it will be in play in the future. But this time around, I don't think that Biden's going to see the black voter turnout that he saw in 2020. And he's really not going to get those voters out. And I feel like with Brian Kemp as the governor, I think he's going to endorse Trump, and Trump will eventually actually win Georgia. North Carolina, on the other hand. North Carolina is interesting because they have Roy Cooper as the governor there. And his lieutenant governor, I can't remember his name, he is running against Mark Robinson, who is the GOP nominee. And so they are going to be facing it off. And the lieutenant governor, who is now running for governor, is already polling ahead of Mark Robinson months and months before the election. Do I think this will have a play in the 2024 election? It's hard to say because Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to pour millions and millions of dollars into North Carolina when it used to be a pretty conservative state. Barack Obama was the last Democrat to actually win North Carolina back in 2008. But I do think Donald Trump will win it, but he is going to win it by less than he won in 2020. I think I could definitely see myself placing North Carolina potentially in the Democratic column further on, but I don't think, not currently, I can't see it going blue. But I definitely do think a blue North Carolina is in the reach for Democrats, just like a blue Texas. Pennsylvania is next. So when we look at Pennsylvania, in 2016, it went red, but just narrowly. I think part of the reason Hillary Clinton lost was because of Bill. And the reason I blame it on Bill is because people knew what they were getting into when they were voting for Hillary Clinton. I feel like they knew it would almost be a third, and potentially, if she won re-election in 2020, a fourth term for Bill Clinton, because as first gentleman, he does have a lot of power. Joe Biden does have a lot of power. Melania Trump did have a lot of power. And that's the thing that voters don't really realize about First Lady, is that they do have a lot of influence in Washington. And that's always something you need to keep out when you are voting and look out for, is who's the First Lady, because I do think that they do have a good amount of power. And if we look in 2020, Joe Biden won it by 1.2%. And he really did pull out, like I said, part of the reason he won was because he pulled out a lot of black voters. And so that was why he performed so well in the Philadelphia suburbs. And if we look at the Pennsylvania polls, there was a poll that just came out recently. Let me find it. Pennsylvania. There we go. There's a poll that came out recently where Joe Biden was polling at 10% above Donald Trump. That came out in March. And also, he was polling 2 and even 3 points ahead of Trump. But then a few polls that just came out from Bloomberg and Fox News show Trump winning by 1 and 2 points. And then the most recent poll by Fox News was even. I do think that Joe Biden does have the advantage here, because it is considered his home state, even though he was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He always likes to talk about how he's middle class Joe, which I do think will help him. But I'm going to put it as tilt for Biden currently, because I think that in the long run, the Philadelphia suburbs, Pittsburgh, Erie, Harrisburg, all of these major cities are going to definitely help play a role in Biden getting the 19 electoral votes from Pennsylvania. Michigan, in 2020, Joe Biden won it by almost 3 points. I think Michigan, everyone is overemphasizing. I was personally shocked when Trump won it in 2016, and I think along with America was pretty shocked that he won it, because it's really, you can't say that Trump is going to win it in 2024 when the Michigan GOP is falling apart. Donald Trump barely won it in 2016, where he won it by 0.23% or something, even closer than Georgia was in 2020. And so I think when you take a look at, I'll show you the precincts. As you can see on here, this is Detroit, Ann Arbor, Flint, Lansing, Grand Rapids, Marquette up here. It's really, you can't change my mind on saying that Joe Biden is going to win. Donald Trump is going to win Michigan. You cannot change my mind. Michigan is a blue state and has been a blue state for a long time. Michigan has control. Michigan Democrats have the governor, lieutenant governor, both Senate seats, most of the congressional districts at the federal level. And so there's that. Nebraska, too, I'm going to put as a lean for Biden because it is pretty liberal. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. I do think that it is plausible that Joe Biden will win that. Headed over to Wisconsin. I really, really don't know about Wisconsin. Even if we look at the polls that have come out of Wisconsin, it's even. Biden up by 2, Trump up by 3. it is going to be the closest. It's going to be the closest state. I really don't know. I might just put it in the Biden column since he's the one who's leading in the polls more recently. So there's that. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll just show you this map real quick. This is the 2020 election results. So as you can see, Biden won Arizona by 0.31, and Georgia by 0.24. And if we look at Michigan, 0.22. Trump literally barely won it, along with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Michigan was the closest race in the entire country. And look, if you look at all these counties, look at how much more Biden picked up 3 more counties. Kent County, Saginaw County, and let's see, what was the other one? Oh, and Leelanau County. And so I think it is plausible that Biden can win Michigan when he won it last time by 2.8 points. Along with Pennsylvania, he won it by 1.2 points. But Wisconsin, I'm still not sure about because it's at 0.63% last time. In Arizona, I think I could see Biden winning it again, but by a larger margin, since especially he and the Arizona Democrats have been pouring like millions of dollars. And I do think that Ruben Galileo, I can't pronounce his last name. If he wins that seat in 2024, I think we can almost guarantee that Arizona will be a safe state for the Democrats. Or, well, at least a lean or likely, because, I mean, they had 2018, Kirsten Sinema won as a Democrat in the Senate. Mark Kelly won in 2020, Biden won in 2020, and then Carrie Lake lost to Katie Hobbs in 2022 at the governor's race. If we look at governor from 20, I guess I can't pull it up. I thought you could, but anyways. So thank you guys for watching. So this is my current prediction for 2024. But keep in mind, things can and will change. Like I said, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Arizona are going to be the 3 ones that I'm really going to look out for and potentially are the ones that could change my mind on this election. I'd like to thank you guys for watching me, and also like to remind you that I am an independent content creator. I have no affiliation with the Democratic or Republican Party. I base my opinions strictly on facts, logic, and data. So everything that you have seen, I've taken into consideration. All of this is taken into consideration, and it's really left down to who I think will actually win it in the end. So I have no real bias towards one party or the other, even though a lot of people thought that in my last video that I made about Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So there's that. So thank you guys for watching today. I hope you stay tuned for another video that I make about Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Hopefully another one will come out in May or June sometime. So